ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the major stories. The Minister of Energy at the panel dedicated to the trade and green hydrogen. In the regional scenes, more than a million children have been displaced, said UNICEF from Sudan issues. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom on the second day of the 16th German African Energy Forum in Hamburg, Germany. The Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Mr. Younis Ali Gedi, took an active part in a high-level ministerial panel devoted to the logistic and regulation inherent in green hydrogen trading. In addition to the panel was attended by the other leading figures in the green hydrogen sector, renewed for their work in this file. The main questions were related about our country's comparative advantage in terms of green hydrogen production. The Minister Younis Ali Gedi gave an exhaustive answer to the question, pointing out our country's many assets and potential for the development and production of green hydrogen. Finally, it should be remembered that this large-scale green hydrogen development project in Djibouti is fully in line with the Djibouti 2035 vision of the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Mergili, and the promotion but also the development of renewable energies in the country. Other news, the Center for Technology and Innovation for Development in Dakhel region closed this morning the first edition of Dakhel Forum on Social Cohesion and Community Resilience. The forum, organized by the CTID in partnership with the Minister of Interior and the financial support from the UNFD, was closed in the presence of the Prefect of Dakhel region, Mr. Hassan Abdi Roble, the Managing Director of CTID, and other local officials from the region. Representative of Djibouti's local development partners organization, including UNFD, UNDP, IGAD, USAID, the UPA Union, and AFD were attended for this closing ceremony. The Dakhel Forum aims to create a space for reflection that brings together local communities and authorities, civil society, organizations in the region, traditional chief business leaders, academic and experts, but also students, the media academic, and other media academy to reflect on common issues and build a set of recommendations to strengthen community resilience and social cohesion, focusing on Djibouti's development challenges. Dakhel Forum aims also to foster the cross-fertilization of knowledge and sharing of know-how and best practices in a participatory approach in search of the solution to demographic, technological, climatic, and social challenges, but also demographic and also the consolidate peace and security for inclusive and sustainable development in Djibouti and the other interior region. At the end of the forum closed with the presentation of a certificate by official to participants who had attended 3 days of debate and exchange focusing on social cohesion. As part of the Strengthening Economic Resilience and Vulnerable Enterprises project implemented by the Center, the leadership of entrepreneuria, known as CLI, the Agency of Djiboutian Development Social IDDS, jointly launched the activities of the government in Dakhel region and in the concept of capital and the Regional Council of Dakhel region. The project aims to create 22 personals and 15 and 20 women per for the GIA homogeneous and linked by affinity. These women will use saving credit and social commitment as tool for employment. The event was attended by officials from Dakhel region, the partenariat, and also the Secretary General of the UNFD, the Director of IDDS, Mr. Mahdi Mohammed Jama, the Deputy Director of the KIA, as well as notables and women from Dakhel region. The overall objective of the project is to contribute to a poverty reduction effort through the promotion of income generating activities and the micro, small, and medium enterprises, which aim to improve the livelihood of the most vulnerable segment of the society. In a speech, the Secretary General of the UNFD, Ms. Fatuma, highlighted this initiative dedicated to women. She emphasized that this initiative is based on the organization of solidarity groups on mutual aid within the fabric of a women's association. She insisted that the longevity of this project is based on the trust of the both parties, according to IDDS Managing Director, Mr. Mahdi Mohammed Jama. Also in his speech said that this activity strengthen the resilience of communities, which lead to the creation of business and strengthening of a small and medium-sized enterprises. For our part, the activities we are going to carry out at the IDDS level will focus on a woman's resilience. He declared before stressing the importance of this program, which will enable his institution to develop large-scale enterprises, turning to how the concept work. The IDDS Managing Director explained that for his institution, the aim is to organize the community into affinity groups, strengthen the solidarity, and the ultimately create income generating activities or reinforce existing ones. So we know from experience that the town of Dakhel region has a lot of experience in the fruit and vegetable trade, and that is what we want to strengthen, said the director manager of the IDDS. After the GIA project launch ceremony, the delegation led by UNFD generate for this occasion. Uh, their arrival at the site, delegation was greeted by a very large and jubilant of Dakhel youth with the chants of the cultural song, and UNFD branch was then inaugurated by the UNFD Secretary General alongside with the head of the region, and the center has been rehabilitated and equipped with the computers and sewing equipment by IDTS. It should be noted that the official organization at these headquarters is a strong wish of the women in Dakhel. Member of the union and commercial union that the cat importers known as Sojik met at their headquarters on Saturday at their headquarters in Ethiopian Avenue for their ordinary meeting. The agenda of this session was entirely devoted to the election of the persons who will take up the reins of the union for 4 years terms. Mr. Nasir Farah Abulale was re-elected by an overwhelming majority of 47 votes out of a total of 50 cards, with the votes of three members. These sessions result reflect of confidence voters have in the new president of SOGIC member. In his speech, the president of the SOGIC said, and recalling that this internal bailout took place in the presence of all members who validate the ballot count in a serene atmosphere. Once again, we re-elected the chairman promised to the new light into the activities of these members. Finally, he expressed his firm commitment to ensure the SOGIC interests and respect. On Thursday evening, the American Corner Center held a ceremony to distribute certificates to the beneficiaries of the training courses on basic of English language. The courses lasted several weeks after benefit employees of national radio and television, including the cameraman. He took part in the closing ceremony of training courses to reinforce the basic of the English language. The American Embassy in Djibouti, through the American Corner Center, organized similar training courses as well as the English conversation for young Djiboutian, with the aim of Djibouti to enable them how to use English language in a variety of file and to impose their English language skill. And at the end of the occasion, the officials who took part in the event, such as Mr. Raymond Well, said that and made a handed out a certificate to the beneficiaries of the English language training for the benefit of young people. The national television of followed the impression of some of young beneficiaries who express their pleasure and talks part in this kind of training. For her part, the representative of American Corner said a few words. Let us listen for her reaction.
And welcome to the American Corner. We're here today to celebrate some certificate ceremonies for some people who have been studying English over the last few weeks. So I'm Raymond Welch. I'm the attaché culturel at the American Embassy, and my team and I are responsible for the American Corner and the American Center at the Embassy. So today we have a very special program. It's two parts. The first part is we provided a grant to a number of Djiboutian English teachers to teach here at the American Corner since last September. They have taught over 100 students, but as a special part of the program, they taught 8 journalists. So there was an English course for 13 weeks with the journalist who came here to the American Corner, or we went to RTD. So this is one part of the partnership between the U.S. Embassy and RTD. The other part is the Embassy has been involved with the training program at the RTD to provide training for photographers, and next year, we're looking forward to presenting a training for the production crew over at RTD. So as you can tell, the relationship between RTD and the U.S. Embassy's cultural section is very close, and we're very happy to have this relationship.
In Tajura region, the face of the Tajura region is changing after the construction of the port of Hotel Gadila Resort. is one of the biggest private investment to date, and the pride of the region and its people. The promoters of this investment project is none other than businessman Burhan Ali Gadile, worthy son of the White City, who has put his energy and know-how at the service of his region. His dynamism is part of a policy of social development and promotion of the employability of young people, and also that's contributing the happiness of the people of Tijora who have seized these opportunities in various files. These the city built on the seafront plays a key roles in the development of tourism, offering comfort and well-being tourism development, and also the owner of the Hotel Burhan Gadile declared the prefect of also Mohammed Abbas welcomed the completion of this major project and encourage other promotion to follow in the footsteps of the giant Hotel Gadile. And now Ali Sabih, a member of Ali Sabih Custom Brigades in close collaboration with the region's police detachment, and they intercept a large quantity of contraband. This interception of merchants smuggle into the national territory as are part of the fight against smuggling of all kinds during this operation of 92,000 kilograms of cat were intercepted with the smugglers aiming to bring into the country according to the standards procedures. This quantity was deployed on they destroyed all the sport by the custom brigade and in the presence of Ali Sabih custom brigade chief Mr. Mohammed Mumin Hassan. As a reminder, every week a huge quantity of cats for import and sale on national are seized and burned by the region's informed corps. After receiving complaints from seven other in the Obokh region who have been the victims of a thief and thorough investigation was immediately launched with the aim of tracing the perpetrators' thief. And in-depth investigation was immediately launched with the aim of tracing the perpetrators. The police then set up a large-scale operation actively soliciting all the cooperation of local population, the cooperation of local population. After sustained effort, the authorities finally succeeded in apprehending 3 suspected thieves, all from the Ethiopian. Overwhelming evidence present against them enabled them to be arrested for their alleged involvement in gang and robbery. For these individuals will soon be brought before courts to answer their action and ensure for this action. And now to the regional news. More than 1 million children, including 270,000 in Darfur, have been forced to flee the deadly fighting between the army and parliamentarians in Sudan. UNICEF said, describing it as a nightmares for children's. For this, by the conflict, according to the UNICEF, over 13.6 million children are in need of humanitarian aid in Sudan. Among 620,000 of them suffer from acute malnutrition, and half could die if they are not helping in times. The organization warned since April 15, fighting between the army led by the parliamentarians of the general in Sudan, but also the main pointed to have put the country already one of the world is poorest in the world before the war. The violence in Sudan has claimed more than 2,000 lives, according to the latest figure from the acting 2 million people have fled the country, including the million people from Khartoum. And according to the International Organization for Migrants, while more than 528,000 refugees have arrived in neighboring countries. And now, in the international scenes, in Ukraine, African leaders in Ukraine, President Cyril said that South Africa and Macky Sall, Senegal, joined other high-level, high technologies and envoys on Friday for a solemn visit to the Ukrainian city. The leaders visit inside the countries after the African leaders led a commemorative in front of the small memorials outside and clerked, but also for this visit, the African leaders, including the Egyptian Prime Minister, but and also the Ukrainian leaders is part of the diplomatic mission to Ukraine and Russia to try to secure exports of Russian fertilizers and agricultural products such as Ukraine wealth. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.